So why do I love the health and fitness industry so much? Wow, that's a powerful question. I think I love it so much is what it does for your human psyche, for your body. It's not even about looking good, it's about feeling good. And when people are, in pain or uncomfortable, it's really sad because their mind gets distracted, their body is distracted, they're no longer present with the current activity, with maybe they're in pain off on the side bench over there because they're laying down or sitting down because they can't play with their kids or whatever it is. So I've literally seen people lose 200 pounds or 300 pounds and 100 pounds and 50 pounds and gain their health and life back. Because I was once a personal trainer as well. I've seen people go everything from getting out of pain to getting back in pain and falling back out and having surgery and then regretting that surgery. And I've seen people from needing surgery to avoiding it completely and living a normal, healthy life. So what exercise and wellness and health and what is capable for you and for anybody else, it's like unbelievable and it's unimaginable. Because health and fitness can really take you there. It builds such a great routine, good quality habits, and it really builds self-confidence in the things and activities that you do, not just in the gym or on the court or on the field, but in life. So you really learn skills that translate to other things in life. So the reason I became a chiropractor is pretty straightforward. I always loved health and fitness and everything just from a young age. Like I just felt like it was just part of who I am and what I love to be about all the time. And so I was at that point where I had a love for health and fitness and wellness, and then I had an ex-girlfriend at the time that went to a chiropractor. I thought that was pretty cool. And at the same time I was studying to become a physical therapist, so I was like on that board. I was also considering being a surgeon at that point in time, but I really just did not want to give medications. I didn't want to do surgery because I know that personally I did not want to do surgery on myself. So why would I want to do it on other people? What I really wanted people to do is be healthy and fit on their own. And I knew that, the body has this amazing natural ability to heal and feel well. And I wanted to explore helping people do that because as a trainer and growing up, I always saw the capability of what the human body could do. So it was really just a very easy progression for me to go from loving health and fitness, loving all that type of stuff, getting exposed to it, wanting to studying it, and then finally deciding and committing to actually move forward with chiropractic. So really chiropractic, physical therapy, wellness, health, that was just a easy no-brainer for somebody like myself. So the way I became more integrated with sports and wellness and more within the health care and lifestyle type of paradigm was because I once got injured. Oh, actually many times I got injured, but this one time I was in chiropractic college, I got injured. And what happened is I had some hip problem, I tore a labrum, and I had some back pain as a result. I had some shooting pain down the legs and stuff like that. Couldn't really walk, and I was actually really depressed and really upset about what was happening with my lower back and my hip, and I couldn't do activity. I couldn't play martial arts, I couldn't run, I couldn't hike. I could barely walk up a stair, by the way. And so what happened was I ended up, seeking some care through somebody. Even though I was seeking care through chiropractic, I was actually getting worse. So long story short, I ended up going to some sports docs and some sports chiros who would, work the soft tissue and give me a lot of rehab and exercises. And as a result of all of that, I was able to, what took me about a year to heal, it took me about 3 months to actually get out of pain and actually back to my activities. So luckily, I was actually at the point where I was actually about to quit chiropractic college, and I was really very desperate, and I was really upset about the whole situation. I was about to get surgery and everything. I was really just about to quit chiropractic college. So it turns out that these people ended up helping me significantly. So at that, I had a fork in the road, and I decided to say and believe in what I actually went through. Was like I was literally about to quit, and I literally had a life-changing experience where I was able to go from barely walking to full-blown activity. And today I still have that same injury, but I don't ever feel it, and I feel great. So that really changed my life and changed my perspective. The most difficult time of my life. Oh man, a little vulnerable here, but that's okay, because I would say that the most difficult time was the time that I talked about the other day, a little bit earlier, was about the most difficult time of my life. I would honestly say the most difficult time of my life was when I was in that much pain that I said earlier in this little recording here. I was dealing with pain, low back pain, hip pain, and it lasted like 9 months. Again, I couldn't walk, couldn't run, couldn't do anything. But what happened is, like, literally, that added so much stress to my body, and it added so much stress to my personal life. And I was also in chiropractic college, so I had a lot of stress there. I had a long distance relationship at the time. I had a lot of stress there. People were, elderly and dying in my life at that time, so that was stressful as well. So I had a lot of stress, and as a result of all this stress, I broke out into like eczema, and nobody could figure it out. And it was on my elbows, it was on my hips, it was down around my waist, around my pelvic area, and I couldn't take off my shirt because I was a little embarrassed. Even the small little stuff, and sometimes it would go away 100% and flare up, but I was really embarrassed about it. And what happened was, I had pain, I had chronic pain, it wouldn't go away, I wasn't getting better, then I would have a flare up because I was so stressed out, and then I had an exam and I would forget, and man, it literally all just came together into one giant ball, just a snowball, where then literally I started getting more injuries. I started getting neck pain, back pain, I started getting shoulder pain. I had elbow problems at the time too. Literally almost all my injuries occurred within a 2-year span of each other, and I truly believe it was from that one injury that created so much anxiety, depression, and stress that I ended up contracting more illness and more injuries as a result of that. So having personally went through that has really helped me with my patients and my clients. So one of the common frustrations I see in the medical field, and I think this is the number one frustration I see, is what I call fear-based diagnosis or fear-based marketing. It's when a doctor says, or if I'm your chiropractor and I say, hey, your spine is really messed up, man. Your back is all out, alignment, it's all messed up. It's very disempowering. And I found that people would say almost anything to get somebody to believe them. And because somebody was able to believe you, they would then seek care and treatment through you because that's what you said. And so as a result, that's what I call fear-based marketing or fear-based diagnosing, is telling somebody that they're not empowered, they're not resilient, they can't recover, and that you're going to need me for that help. And I think that's a very disempowering message, and I think it's a message that is false, because I think everybody has the capacity to heal, and some people need a little bit more help than others, and I needed a lot of help when I had my injury, and I got that help, and it cost me a lot of money, but it was the best money I've ever spent. But also at the same time, I also spent a lot of money and didn't get a lot of help before that. So it all comes at a cost basis ratio, and anyway, so really it's just more about helping people and empowering them to be their best. So what do I like to do for fun? My favorite thing by far is exercise, but more specifically it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've been training for about 10 years, and I just really love it. It's something very physical. I grew up as a wrestler, a college athlete, and stuff like that, so this was kind of like the next progression, and it's really a great skill, and I believe in doing athletic activities the rest of my life, and I really enjoy it. But what's really cool and what I really enjoy about doing it is the mental toughness that it takes in addition to the physical toughness, so you can really be mentally tough and smart and witty, and it really applies very well to life. So I really like my jiu-jitsu and kind of a little bit obsessive over it. My favorite food, man, I love food. So I think that definitely breakfast. But if I was going to say best unhealthy food, I'm gonna say probably challah bread French toast. If it's a decent breakfast, I'm gonna say eggs. But I also like steak. So but steak and eggs is good too. So oh man, that's a tough one. I just like eating, so whenever I can eat, but definitely make sure I have my healthy greens and vegetables in a lot of my diet. So really love food. That's probably a big thing for me. What is my favorite sweet? That's definitely cookies, brownies, ice cream for sure. I would definitely say chocolate ice cream. I don't even think I ever have ordered vanilla, ever, like ever. So chocolate all the way. What is my best habit? Oh man, my best habit is probably being consistent. I show up very, very consistently all the time, and I don't give up very easily. So I think consistency, and I have this model where I say, consistency over time equals results. So as long as you keep showing up, keep consistent, and you do that for a duration of time, it could be weeks, months, or even years, you will eventually get your results. So consistency over time equals results. I think I tend to overeat a little bit. I think that's one of my worst habits, and I think I tend to get a little frustrated when things don't go my way. And I don't want to say that in that sense, but like when I get frustrated and I have a lot to do, and maybe I planned on doing the next thing and the next thing and really getting through it, but maybe the first thing took too long, and as a result I can't get to the second or the third thing. So I would say definitely gotta watch my eating habits, because sometimes I do overindulge. And then secondly, it's like understand that sometimes things take a little bit more time than I would like. Do I have a hidden talent? No, I don't think I have a hidden talent. I haven't discovered it yet. Always at these talent shows, and like when you were a kid and stuff like that, growing up, I was like, I hope they don't pick me, because I have no hidden talents. I just show up over time, consistency, and I've gotten all my results from just never giving up. So no hidden talents here, just ordinary person. What thing did I learn when I was younger that I still apply to today? Since a lot of my life revolved around athletics and activity and stuff like that, I would definitely say one thing that I learned from my coach was, if you show up early, you're on time. If you show up on time, you're late. If you show up late, you're effed. Or you're screwed. So I really took that to heart, and I tend to show up early for everything. And as a result, I will even block out times before or after to make sure that I show up on time for whatever it is I have to do. Do I follow a certain diet plan? Not really. I used to be a little bit more of that paleo, but I don't really follow it like anymore as much as I used to. I kind of just eat what I want now. I did have a very structured macronutrient type of approach as well. So I do know when I'm eating poor, and I do know when I'm eating well, but I really try to keep a balanced diet and really not count calories. I really just try to enjoy my life and eat as I want to. Any other type of workouts? So I think my favorite workout is going to be specifically, if we're talking about weight training, I like working back. My least favorite workout, I'm going to say right off the top, as an ex-wrestler, I'm going to just say running. However, right now I am running. Why? Because I want to challenge myself, and I think that just running is just not something that I like, so might as well just push yourself through it. Have I worked with any pro athletes? Yeah, I've worked with some pro athletes, a lot of them actually, as a matter of fact, and I am the team chiropractor for the San Diego Gulls, which is the NHL or Anaheim Ducks affiliate team. So I do get a chance to work with them one-on-one. In addition to all that, I've seen people from track athletes to paintball, pro athletes to bodybuilders, all the way through this type of wide scope or something like that. So I've seen everything in between, but I really just like working with people. It's not necessarily that they're athletes. I just like working with people, and I think it's fun. I've gotten a chance to learn way different things than I would expect in the athletic medical field versus what you would see in somebody with acute low back pain or SI joint. So it's really taking a bunch of these models like here and blending them together and making it work for whoever's going to present in your office. So if you have a high functioning athlete, you kind of know. If you have somebody who's really very new to like health and fitness, then you know what to do here. But the best thing is that I've learned is that the basics work for every single one. It doesn't matter who you are. The basics will always work, and that's true for everything. So basics work for athletes. It works for people who have never been an athlete in their life. So it's really cool. My favorite quote. So I would say that my favorite quote, and this will be the last thing I leave you guys with, is be the change you want to see in the world. And Gandhi said that. It always stuck with me because I always try to do things a certain way. I always try to give everybody the best opportunity. I always try to be the best. I always try to be the best in order to represent what's possible for humanity. So if you really want humans to be better, if you want your patients to be better, if you want your clients to be better, if you want to be better, you have to improve yourself first, and you have to be that change. You have to become that change. You have to pick up that litter when you walk by it. If you want a cleaner environment, if you want to be healthier, you have to be healthy yourself. If you want to preach about wellness and health and do all these things, you do have to take those things into account for yourself. So you have to create change by being that change, and I think that's what he meant by that. And ever since then, I don't know how many years, it's been my number one go-to quote. So be the change you want to see in the world.